I'm ready. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my podcast, No Cap, Just Raw. I never get tired of saying it. So today we are talking about a topic entitled Chameleon. And this one has me really just over the moon because I just really feel like the Lord has been pressing this one on my spirit for the past few days leading up to today's episode, to the point where I'm like, yeah, it's clear that this is what I need to talk about today. And I'm pretty sure that all of you know that a chameleon is a creature in nature, in the wild, that can literally blend with anything it comes in contact with as far as color goes. And so I have had the opportunity to see a chameleon in action. I remember as a kid when I would hear about like chameleons and how they can change colors and things like that, and how people would call other people chameleons, and I was like, why is that an insult? And I didn't understand that chameleons literally, and I've seen the video, they literally change colors, and it's amazing. God's creation is truly beautiful. God's creation is creative. God is truly an artist, and everything that he has created is just, it serves its purpose and is phenomenal, even down to the chameleon. And chameleons are almost like, they're one of those creatures that you're just kind of like, okay, like, what do you do besides changing colors? Like, what's your superpower? And so I remember watching the video where the chameleon was like literally going through different, passing by different objects or foods and fruits, and literally taking on the color of that very thing that it came in contact with. But we're not here to literally talk about a chameleon. Chameleon is me really trying to allude to the fact that there are people in this world that are truly chameleons. They know how to change colors like a chameleon. And lucky for you, I've had tons of experience with chameleons. I've come into contact with so many of them, and not one person that I saw as a chameleon was ever a friend. People who are chameleons cannot be, they're not true, they're phony, they're fakes, and they don't know how to be themselves. And so I think it's important to just really recognize these kinds of people, because over 7 billion people in this world, and you never really know. Here's what I should say. You could literally meet a new person every single day of your life until the day you go into your grave, and you wouldn't be able to meet everybody in this world. Like, you just wouldn't. Billions and billions of people, and what is it? It's to say that as we meet people, we come into contact with people. Some people come in our lives to stay. Some people come for a season. Some people come for just that time to do what needs to be done. You never see them again. It's crazy how there are people I've met and I will never see them again. That right there blows my socks off. That there are people, and it's true, there are people I've met in my life and I've never ever seen them ever again. And there are people I've met, they're still in my life till this day. There are people I've met in a season. They were in my life for a season, whether that was a month, 2 months, 3 months. There are people I met in my life. They were my coworker, and then we just never really talked again, or we kept in contact here and there, but we're more like acquaintances. And so I want to just really dive into this deeply so that you can understand why it's important to decipher, to know the difference. Because people are the blessing, people are territory, and people are really, it's really the way that you're going to fulfill your purpose. You need people in your life to really make your purpose come to life and to see the fulfillment of it. And this principle is so important. And as one who is a self-professed and proud person to be independent, I've always been proud of being independent, being solo, rocking solo, getting things done. And I'm really good with team me. And that's not always a good thing. It's not always good to be very good at just being on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that. Independence is a superpower as well. Some people are very extremely super dependent and clingy. They don't know how to be alone. And also, there's nothing wrong with that unless it's on a healthy level. So when I say super dependent, that's when it's unhealthy because it's not balanced. But I want to point out some dynamic duos in the Bible that were besties. They worked well together, and because they were connected, they helped each other's purposes be carried out. Just to show you how connecting with the right people is very important. So I am going to share with you, first of all, I'm going to share with you why it's important to connect with the right people. And then I'm also going to share with you how to decipher a chameleon in your life, how to know the difference and just really keep away from that kind of energy. So let's start off with the duos, the dynamic duos from the good book. Some of my favorite dynamic duos are Esther and Mordecai. If you read the book of Esther, Mordecai played a huge role in Esther becoming the queen after Queen Vashti was removed from the kingdom because she wouldn't bring herself before the king. When he summoned her, he went and he searched for a new queen. That took some time. That actually took more months for him to find another queen replacement. And it turned out that Esther became the replacement. Not only was she beautiful, she was wise, and she was highly favored by the Lord. And so the king, when he laid eyes on her, he was like, wow, yeah, she's the one. So Mordecai pushing her and encouraging her to just go into this beauty contest, because there was like this whole beauty contest because the king's officials went out into the kingdom and they were looking for beautiful women that could come before the king and be potential replacements for Queen Vashti. And so Mordecai just really encouraged Esther to just enter into this beauty contest, present herself, because he knew she was beautiful and he saw something in her and he raised her. So that's a dynamic duo there. Another dynamic duo is Jonathan and David. Oh my goodness. Talk about besties. Talk about best friends. Talk about beautiful connection. Jonathan and David had such a beautiful friendship. OMG. Like that is the epitome of bromance, because they were so close that the Bible says that scriptures actually say that Jonathan and David love each other more than they love themselves, in a sense. And it's so strange to just even describe, because in this day and age, when you see two males that are extremely close, you can't help but assume that, oh, he's gay, oh, low key they screw each other, or low key they be doing some weird stuff together. And that typically is the deal in this day and age, where men who are extremely close and even friend groups, they end up doing weird things together that shouldn't be done, falling into perversion, having orgies. And guys, I know this is super duper strange and maybe TMI, but it really has happened. I can't tell you the countless of stories I've heard of male guy friends who were super close, and the relationship was just corrupt. But let's get off of that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about dynamic duos. But Jonathan and David were a dynamic duo. They were besties, and they were very, very close. God was definitely in the midst of their friendship. And we know David went on to become king in place of Jonathan's father, Saul. And Saul, of course, took his own life, and his sons as well followed suit, and that's how Jonathan and David were separated. Death separated them, unfortunately. But had he been still alive, him and David would have still went on to become best friends, the bestest of friends, and continue until death separated them. That's how close they were. They loved each other so very much. And I love seeing guy best friends, and just, how close they are, and like brothers from another mother. It's beautiful. Another dynamic duo in the Bible is Joshua and Caleb, and they had strong faith. They had an agreement with what God wanted to do with the Israelites and entering the promised land. And that dynamic duo was amazing because they helped each other's purposes. So having the right people around you, connecting with the right people around you is super important because it helps carry out your purpose. Being a loner serves you no purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, God may place you in a season where you may be alone. You may be separated, or put in a place where you're like on an island, so to speak. But this is God's way of preparing you. It's a downtime for prep time. And it's not to keep you alone, but it's for you to know who you are. Because sometimes being alone, or a lot of times being by yourself, can really help you spend time with yourself, help you build a relationship with self, to know yourself, to know your boundaries, to know what you like, your likes and dislikes. And also, more importantly, it helps you build a stronger foundation in the Lord. Being by yourself helps you to know God's voice, how he talks to you, what are the plans he has for your life. And sometimes we can hear better when we are by ourselves and not in such a crowded place, so to speak. So having the right connections helps you build purpose. Having the right connections helps you to enjoy life. And I have to put that in there. I feel like healthy friendships makes life that much sweeter. You guys can go on vacations together. You do outings together. You do family gatherings together. Yes, friends are like family. Family doesn't always mean blood. I've been hearing that a lot lately. And I like that. I love that term. I've had people try to twist and turn the word family, and I knew the difference. And I won't get into that because that's a whole nother different topic. But friends are like family, and family isn't always blood. And when you have the right people in your life, life is that much fun and sweeter and enjoyable. And I think that everyone should strive to really meet great people. And when you meet them, here's the next thing I want to say. When you meet great people and you meet people that you vibe with, treat them right. Respect them. Love them. Help them. Show yourself friendly. My friend now, she's been using this term a lot, to show yourself friendly. And it's in scripture too. The Bible does say show yourself friendly. And what does that mean? It means to be kind. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, the second greatest commandment in the Word of God. And so what does it mean to love your neighbor as you love yourself? Do unto others as you would do unto you. So if I have a friend, right, and I say that's my friend, and I also want to point out, I've said this before, and I will continuously to say it on this platform. I don't use the word friends so easily. And I have many reasons for that. I've had a lot of experience with just with people in general. Enough experience to know what a friend truly should look and feel like. So when I say someone is my friend, it's to say that there is real and true vibes, genuine. This person is genuine. I can genuinely be myself around this person. There's a level of comfortability that is unmatched, and there's intimacy. And I know intimacy is a term that is used in like a love relationship between husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, but I believe that in a friendship there's also a intimacy. And that intimacy is a way of saying, like, this person understands your boundaries without you having to always say them. They respect you for who you are. They treat you right, and they treat you the way they know that they want to be treated. So, having genuine friendships is having genuine friendship is important, and you must remember to, when you have genuine friendships, to treat this person right. Steward your friendships correctly. God is paying close attention to how you treat the people that he is sending into your life. And God is not going to send his people, because good people are God's people. Good people are God-given people, and God-given people are a gift. God-given people are gifts from God. God is not going to give you his gift if you are not going to treat it right. He's not stupid. And he's not going to, because remember, if someone comes from God into your life, that is a gift from God. But if you're going to mistreat that person, why send them anyways? So treat the people that come into your life that you know that God sent, that are good friends. You're like, this is a good friend. This person is genuine. This person is real. This person is a friend to me. And the friendship is even and it's mutual. That's a blessing. And friends that come from God not only are gifts, but they bring favor into your life. So God can use that friend to bless you. God can allow that friend to help you carry out your purpose. Treat them with love. Treat them with kindness, and treat them with respect. So the 3 things I mentioned about connecting with the right people is good friends. Good friends make life sweeter, make life more enjoyable, make life more exciting. Good friends bring favor from the Lord, and you must treat them right. And good friends are people that help carry out your purpose in this life, and vice versa. So treat them with love, treat them with kindness, treat them with respect. Now, when you don't meet good people, and this happens from time to time, and God will, of course, 100% allow you to meet people that you don't vibe with. And you will always come across people that may rub you the wrong way, people that are just complete buttholes. They will probably even try to mistreat you, and because they're either jealous, they're envious, they're insecure within themselves, and when they look at you, they see something in you that they wish was in them. And so in order to make themselves feel better, they're going to try to tear you down. And I have had tons of experience with people like this, and I run into them every single day. It's just, as I mentioned in the last episode, the lesson that I've learned, or the lessons, plural, that I've learned with people like that, is just way past me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so elementary to me that I feel like like I said, I still meet people who are like this, but it's just truly leaves me, I'm truly unbothered and unfazed by these characters, because I know they're chameleons. And when you've had the opportunity or the experiences that I've had with chameleons, you just know how to deal with them moving forward. You take them at what they are. You're like, oh, that's a chameleon. You just know how to deal with a chameleon. You're like, yeah, you're going to change colors. You change colors based on who you're around, what we talk about, or, that's just how chameleons are. They're fake. They're phony. Chameleons, how can you tell a chameleon from a genuine person? And some people really don't know the difference. Bless their soul, bless their heart. I know that one point in time I didn't know the difference between a chameleon and a genuine person. Even though I was always a genuine person, I was always kind-hearted, I was always giving, and I always loved to treat people with respect. But I did not know that sometimes when you're dealing with a chameleon, you have to be firm. You cannot throw your pearls to pigs. And it tells us that in the good gospel. It tells us that we cannot give the things that God gives us that are precious to us just to anybody. And you have to remember that you are a gift. If God's presence is in you, lives in you, you're a gift. You're a treasure. So anyone you come across, if you remain in their life should be that much better. Their life should be that much sweeter. Their life should just be that much more amazing just because you're in it, because you're a gift from God, because you're a God person. God's presence is in you. You are holy, you are pure, and you are righteous. You come from God. So anyone who befriends you, and I mean good friendship, they will be blessed. There are chameleons that I've had in my life, and sometimes God allowed them to be blessed. And I knew they were chameleons, and God allowed them to be blessed because it was an opportunity for them to see the love, experience the love of God. Sometimes God will trust you with trouble. So that's the second thing. Sometimes God will allow you to be friends with someone that is not necessarily at your level, but because he can trust you enough in the sense that you're mature enough not to be influenced by this person's ways, not to be influenced by the way they carry themselves, their mannerisms, their habits. You can keep your habits while also being an example of Christ, being an example of Yahweh Shai, and showing them the way, the truth, and the life by being yourself, by being unapologetically you. This may strike a chord with them. I've been around people that I felt the jealousy, I felt the envy, but God allowed me to be in this person's life for a season so that they can know that Yahweh Shai is real, his love is real, and that one day they can give their life to him and possibly be in a place where they can be confident and secure in themselves, where they can come into the knowledge of who they are in the Lord. So just things like that Abba Father will permit from time to time, and this will make you grow as an individual, as a human being, being more compassionate. And just because sometimes you can be in a place where, I'm a good person and things like that. And I've seen people get like that. It can all go to your head. So it is very humbling when God brings certain people in your life and he allows you to be an example to them and for them. And that really just changes your perspective on, on knowing that, listen, I'm not better than anyone. I am different, but I'm not better. And it's okay to know that you're the best, because I said that last episode. I said I am the best because I rock with the best. And I've had people tell me, who do you think you are? You think you're better? You think you're that? You think you're this? And I'm like, matter of fact, yeah, because I'm rocking with the best. I don't think I'm better than you, but I am better. I'm better in the sense that God has made me better. I'm better than what I was yesterday. I'm better than what I used to be. And every day I'm getting better. So that's my perspective when someone says, you think you're better? I'm like, yeah, I'm better than I was yesterday. And it's funny. It's humorous. I have a good sense of humor, so I try not to take everything too seriously or take myself too seriously, just because life is precious and we don't have to always be in bad vibes. We should be of good vibes at all times, and we shouldn't let anyone cut in on our vibes, just who we are and the way we choose to behave and carry ourselves. It is nobody's business and it is nobody's place. You shouldn't allow anyone to change who you are the way you are. So chameleons, let's just make it plain and simple. Chameleons are people that are insecure. They are people that don't know who they are. They are takers. Yes, some chameleons are takers. They are bloodsuckers. They will suck the life out of you. They will take your energy. They will use you. Some chameleons are con artists. Some are not very nice. Some are not very naive. Some are actually really intelligent. They know how to use people really, really good. They know how to take people's money. They know how to manipulate people for the things that they want. And they take pride in that. They're like, yeah, I just know how to get what I want out of people. And it's like, that's very sad, actually. Like, there's no life there. Like, you have someone who lives like that, who owns that chameleon lifestyle and just really owns it, and just like just really talk about it with a sense of pride. That person, I can assure you, no matter what they say, that person is miserable. That person is very, very sad on the inside. And it will take, they have too much pride, though, to admit that they're very lonely and that they're very insecure within themselves. And I can assure you that a person like that definitely has childhood trauma or something that happened to them along the way in their life. Somebody disappointed them and made them feel like now they have to take from people, they have to mistreat people, and that they could never trust anybody. And I hate to say it, but that person's mentally ill. That person's mentally ill. They need psychological help. They need professional help, because that person can also be narcissistic. That person, can be very abusive as well. A manipulative individual, a manipulative human being, can be very abusive. They can either abuse people emotionally, verbally, and in all the ways imaginable. And so this person is mentally ill. They need help. Will they seek help? Probably not. It may take a lot for them to get to the place to admitting, because that person has a lot of pride. So guys, I could really go on and on about this topic. I really love this topic because I've dealt with so many people in my lifetime and the little time that I've lived so far. And I used to be very, very hurt because of all the bad people that I've encountered. And I just kept wondering, why do I keep encountering bad people? But once I started taking inventory of my environment, of my territory, and just really allowing God to bring the right people into my life and keep the right people around, because I've also talked about how it was hard for me to let go of people or let go of situations or things. I wanted to hold on, and God put me in a place where I was alone for such a very long time. I didn't have friends. I didn't have people around me, not even family. And He isolated me like on an island, where now I begin to know who I am and whose I am and who I belong to and my Creator, and come into divine self. And once I healed and started coming into divine self, then I started encountering the right people. People who were also in their divine self. People who knew their power and walked in it. They knew they were powerful. And so I'm in a place where I know who I am. And that is the most powerful I can be. Walking in self, divine self, knowing who I am. Not allowing chameleons to come into my life, take my energy, waste my time, borrow my time, manipulate, lie, deceive, to get what they want out of me, because I am a treasure of the Lord. I am a gift from God, and I have favor, unfair favor on my life, and God will not allow me to be in a friendship with just anyone. And you as well. I'm talking to you. You are a treasure, and you are a true friend and a genuine person, and God is going to send genuine people to come into your life and be a true friend to you. Wait for your time. Wait on the Lord. Be of good cheer. God has not forgotten about you. Some of us pray to meet the right people, and it is coming. And when these people come into your life, they're going to radically transform your life. They are going to be people that are going to want to see you win, because they're winning in life. They know who their Creator is. They walk in divine purpose, and it will be divine appointment as you meet them. So be still. Know that Abba Father is still in His position. The Son sits at the right hand of the Father. He knows the plans He has for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Guys, thank you so much for rocking with me on this episode. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to know what a chameleon really looks like. And someone needs to know what genuine friendships should feel like, should look like. And I hope that this episode gave you that look, that feel, and now you know the difference between a chameleon and a genuine friend. So thanks so much again. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys so much. This is the work of the Lord. If you want to sow a seed, it'll be at the end of this video. So guys, I'll see you next time on another episode of No Cap, Just Raw. Toodles! Bye!